It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Denver Broncos. And it comes your way next.
In a few months' time, snow will blanket the Great Peaks just to our west, but for now, summer still in full swing at Empower Field at Mile High. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Denver Broncos. Brandon Gaudin here in Denver, joined by Charles Davis. And CD, the Broncos are looking for a turnaround here in 2023. Coming off a 5-win season and a last-place finish in the AFC West. But this doesn't feel like a last-place team.
Nor to me, because when you look at them on offense, loaded with skill position players at wide receiver and running back, and then flip it over to the defensive side of the ball, and they can compete with anyone. They make it tough to run your offense.
Then for the visiting Rams, they found out the hard way that you need a lot of good fortune when you win a Super Bowl title. And when you don't get that good fortune, as they didn't last year, things can crash down to earth in a hurry.
And none of us really saw this coming. Remember, they were 12-5 the year they won the Super Bowl, went 5-12 last year. Somehow I think this Rams team is better than what we saw last season, adding in a lot of new pieces in order to try and get back to the top of the NFC West.
And off we go from Denver. On the return, Tremont Smith. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And I think that even after a decade in the NFL, he doesn't get enough credit for not just his consistency, but his brilliant play and leadership as well. He's won a Super Bowl in Seattle. He's led his team to another Super Bowl opportunity also in Seattle. His numbers are always terrific, almost always in the Pro Bowl, and all his team does is win. This guy's a natural leader.
12 yards on the gain, a great start for this offense.
That's a good start to the ball game. Maybe a little bit of a tone setter offensively. They come out throwing right away, and it's an early completion and a quick first down.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now the third-year man back and healthy. It's Javonte Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
To throw is Wilson. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 40. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Wilson, option right. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. The all-everything defensive tackle, Aaron Donald, the one who made the play there. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
And that's good for a gain of 6. 3rd and 7 now. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Right back to Judy, and it's complete. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. This will be caught at about the 5. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. Throwing is Wilson. Finding Williams on the check down. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a third down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. Here's Wilson. And the incompletion there, so that breaks a string of 5 straight hookups. It also leads to a fourth down.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here we go with Williams. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. So give him the first down. 1st and goal after a pickup of 4. And the decision to go for it pays off. Now Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Tell you what, Brandon, if I see a dime look, if I see 6 defensive backs near the goal line, I'm changing to a running play every time.
And they had 6 there. Surprised he didn't audible at the line?
Very much so. I'm going to count on my offensive line in this situation against the lighter defensive backs and try and push it across the end zone that way.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Marr able to put this one through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half. And as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Just one field goal in a tightly played first half as we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going? Play action here on the first play from scrimmage. They want to see how the linebackers are going to react. Are they looking to stop the run? Or are they going to sit back in coverage? A really nice job there of going in attack mode early, and they pick up a quick first down.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
He may go back to the huddle and have a little discussion with his passer. You know, maybe you don't have to leave me quite that much. But on that play, bailed him out in a big way, didn't he?
He did indeed. Hey, at least he gets to put it on the highlight reel. Now the 4th-year man, it's Cam Akers. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
From the 38 now, here's a 2nd and 8. Off of play action, here's Stafford. Open man, Higby, the tight end. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll try and run for this with Akers. There's a nice move. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Now, after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
They'll come up now on second down. Here's a run with Akers on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Real estate's been pretty hard to navigate up the middle, hasn't it? Been real tough for them to run the football.
Another example there, but when they try to bounce it outside, the numbers have been to the advantage defensively there, too.
Yeah, once they took care of the middle, that allowed those linebackers and secondary guys to run to the ball on the perimeter.
Now it's Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So a big kick to get this back to even. And now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. Here's Smith to return it, taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Wilson. And that's caught by Williams. Here's second down. Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Riley Dixon now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. This is 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So it's the Broncos who are going to get the first shot at things. They'll have it here as we start in overtime. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Denver's offense now set to go. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Screen play set up for Williams. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now Wilson on second down. Man open left side, it's Williams. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. They've got the jumbo set out there. A huge play in this overtime session. It's 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Now Wilson on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A toss to the wide side. This is Williams. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. And we're going to get whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the extra session. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Stafford with his first throw of OT. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. One overtime. How about two? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Stafford. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, you want to make sure that on an opening drive that you at least stay out there for a while and get into the flow of the game. A 3 and out would have been problematic, but that's a good throw there to ensure they get another set of downs.
Overtime with 2 minutes to play. We are in sudden death, but still all tied up. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. That'll be caught by Cup. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Stafford going to give this to Akers. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Jefferson.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. Over the middle, it's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 2. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And Higbee going to have a Rams first down as a tackle made at the 18.
First down, Rams.
So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing again is Stafford. And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans screaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.